treat you, yeah. How I'm gonna treat you, yeah.
Hey y'all, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be doing like a little postpartum diaries type situation. So if you're new here, my name is ShesADiamondInARough. I recently just had a baby boy. His name is Shiloh and he is currently almost 7 weeks. He'll be 7 weeks on Sunday and today is Friday. So I wanted to start this little new series on my channel called the Postpartum Diaries, just to kind of like keep track of like my progress since having my very first baby boy, my very first child. Just to give some small background about me, my wife and I conceived back in November and Shiloh was born August 25th of 2024. He's currently right here, so if I cut in between clips, that's because I am tending to him. I wanted to do today's video about my first period postpartum. So I am currently, like I said, almost 7 weeks postpartum, and I got my first period on October 9th. So today is technically my 3rd day of my period. So I want to say when I first started my period or thought that I might be starting my period, I was actually really nervous. On the very early morning of October 9th, so I'd probably say like 2 in the morning or so, right after one of his feeds, I noticed that I was having like some discharge with like red streaks in it, and I'm like, I just know this is not my period. I just know this is not my period. So to go back, I'm sorry you guys. So to go back, my wife and I, we did conceive with the sperm donor back in November of 2023, and yeah, we used a sperm bank, so they were able to ship the tank to us during the week of my ovulation, and I was able to conceive once I got my little smiley face on my ovulation test, and yeah, now we're here. If you guys want to see like my labor and delivery vlog, my wife and I did post it on our couples channel, which is the Diamonds 901 here on YouTube. But anyways, going back to my period. So this diary is going to be strictly about my period. So basically, like I said, I was kind of like nervous and having some anxiety when I first realized that I might be starting my period. And so far this period has just been like super different in the sense of like when on my first day I didn't have any cramping at all. Now what's crazy is we went to my 6 weeks postpartum checkup on the day before I started my period, and during that checkup she had talked to me about like me possibly having like really bad cramping for my first period whenever it does decide to come back, and to just like have like all of the things that I need for it, you know, on hand, such as like Tylenol, a heating pad, all that good stuff. So I wasn't expecting to be starting my period the very next day, considering the fact that I am breastfeeding. Now I will say within the past 2 weeks I did start pumping a lot. Like I was doing breastfeeding, then pumping right after, and so forth. So I'm not sure if that has a role to play in why I started my period so soon, but I know that periods can also be very irregular, especially when you are breastfeeding. So now 3 days in, I am feeling a little bit better about the fact that I have my period, because I just had it in my mind that, you know, your period is going to be delayed for X amount of months if you're breastfeeding. So I was just like, ugh. So on top of me getting my period and having having no cramping, I've also experienced clotting. So like I was having like, and I still am, so I'm passing like a lot of clots when I use the restroom. Now hold on y'all, let me put him on the boob. Prior to me actually getting pregnant, I would have like some clotting on that very first day, or like I would experience it where if I would go to sleep at night and in the morning time when that first urine of the day, I would excuse me, I would see some clotting. But I see clotting every single time I use the restroom since I've been on my period postpartum. I also have a list of things that I wanted to kind of talk about. So, um, I just want to say I was for sure not expecting my period this soon after giving birth. So, honestly, it really freaked me out that I was getting my period so soon. And because I was so unprepared for it, I was just having so much anxiety. Like I remember texting my wife and being like, "Oh my gosh, I think I'm about to come on my period. I don't know what's going on." I wasn't sure if like my Lochia was starting back up. And I still don't. Like I feel like this is a true period just because I have been having some cramping with it since yesterday. So day 2 and today, which is day 3, I've been experiencing cramping. So I was really anxious at first when I realized that I could be possibly coming on my period just because I was unprepared. I was like, I just had birth. I feel like I'm still recovering. Because another thing is I did tear during my birth of our son. So like during my labor and delivery process, I did end up tearing. So I still feel like I'm kind of recovering. So I was just like really anxious about starting my period. I was just like really caught off guard. I just felt unprepared in a sense. I understand that like for every woman, each woman's body is different. So like I think the biggest thing is I shouldn't have gone into this thinking like, oh, well, majority of women who do breastfeed or even breastfeed and pump, their periods may be delayed for X amount of months. I should have just gone into it like, listen, after you give birth, Shantanae, your body is gonna return back to a certain state and your new normal, and you could start your period anytime. You could or could not have postpartum depression. You like everybody's recovery looks different, and I think I just had it in my mind that my postpartum would look a certain way, and like it's just proof that like my period is just proof that my recovery is going to look completely different than anyone else's. Um, So I will say, like, I don't think that my period so far has had an impact on my milk supply. I also wanted to talk about that because I've been on this journey of trying to like create a stash. So that's why I've been breastfeeding and pumping. And I feel like for the longest I haven't been getting very much output when I pump. But I would say recently, since I've been on my period, maybe it's because I've been trying to continue to be hydrated since I am on my cycle, that I've been drinking a little bit more water or drinking like tea as well. And so I've actually seen a little bit of an increase with my output when I pump. So instead of me getting like 1.5 to 2.5 ounces from each breast, I've been seeing more on the 2 to 3 ounces on each breast, which is good, because this boy right here, he eats about 4 ounces in the bottle, like when I feed him express milk at the end of the night, because I like my wife to have a chance to bond with him in that way, and it gives me a break. He eats about 4 ounces, so I've been enjoying the fact that my milk supply has increased, but that's different for everybody, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like other people will say like their periods cause their milk flow to decrease, you know. So I don't know. Everybody is different. I feel like that's the biggest thing that I've taken away from having my first period. Good morning. I know it looked crazy, but I wanted to come on here and finish out my little diary, y'all. So it's been a few days because life be life, and and not in a bad way. It's just every day is different being a mom, literally. I'm just learning day by day. But anyways, I wanted to close out how I've been feeling about my period and this diary entry. So basically today is my 6th day of my cycle technically. My flow has lightened up a lot. So I can definitely tell either today is my last day or tomorrow will be my last day. Before I got pregnant, my period was lasting about 5 days total, with 5 being like the very, very light day. And yeah, so how I'm feeling now that I'm on my 6th day, I feel like it's not the end of the world with me having started my period. And I actually feel a lot better than I did on the first couple of days. Like on the first 2 or 3 days, I was like really in denial and I didn't want to believe that I was on my cycle. I was trying to tell myself that it might be Lokia or something like that because I'm only 7 weeks postpartum now. Officially 7 weeks yesterday because today is Monday. And yeah, so now I'm feeling a lot better anxiety wise. I realized it's not the end of the world with me getting my period. With me breastfeeding and pumping, my milk output has not decreased or anything like that. So yeah, I did have cramping like on the 2nd and 3rd day, but it was very mild compared to how my cramps were before I got pregnant. So all in all, I just wanted to come on here and close out this diary entry and basically tell my future self it's my camera does not want to stay on for anything. But anyways, I just wanted to remind myself that it's okay. It's not the end of the world with you starting your period. And whoever else is watching out there that is a first time mom and kind of just like going with the flow when it comes to like everything, motherhood, your body, postpartum body, healing, etc. We are all on this journey for the first time, but rewarding journey. But it does have its hardships, of course. But just understand that your body was made to do this, and trust your body, trust yourself, allow yourself to have grace, rest, most importantly, and just take everything day by day. It may seem scary, but your body knows what it's supposed to be doing to heal during this process. So I wish somebody would have told me not to worry about my first cycle, especially with it being this soon. Everybody's body is different, okay? So just give yourself grace. But I just wanted to end off this first diary entry just giving myself that encouragement, as well as anybody else who's watching. I'm looking forward to doing my next diary entry. We'll see. I'm just vlogging and keeping track of this journey that I am on. I will definitely come back on here when there's something else that is on my mind, of course. I think next I'm probably going to talk about my postpartum, like my first week postpartum, because it was rough. Not gonna lie, it was rough, but I made it through, honestly. And looking back, I'm like, dang, girl, you're pretty strong. But anyways, I will see you guys in my next diary entry. And yeah, I'm a mother. Bye, y'all.
Yeah, yeah.